Hey Leo, it's Ryan with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do your February 2022 Law of Tarot reading and astrology reading. As always, if you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's very much appreciated from me. All right, Leo, so we are at the precipice of some really big things with retrograde season. Mercury retrograde is happening in Aquarius and Capricorn, and then Venus retrograde is happening in Capricorn. A lot of concentrated energy in Saturn-ruled signs, which are the opposite signs to you. So, Leo, you are on the axis with Aquarius. That's your seventh house, one-on-one relationships, marriages, contracts, friends, sexuality. Seventh house are other people. That's Aquarius. Capricorn is your sixth house. It's 6 signs past Leo. And the sixth house is known as the house of Malefortuna. It's a house of burdens, and it can be really difficult at times. Modern astrologers say that the sixth house is about health, service, work, routine. It's mundane affairs. It's the things that keep your life running, but they're also known as burdens. And it can be really difficult at times. So there could be some health things coming up here for you. There could be health issues with partnerships because Venus has to deal with partnerships and love. So maybe we're reviewing some things in that sixth house. And then Mercury is started its retrograde phase in your seventh house. That's other people, it's your marriages, relationships, right? And then it's retrograding back into that sixth. So there's a lot of concentrated energy in that seventh and sixth house. So it's marriages, routine, partnerships, work, and health. So those are the themes that you can see here come up for you. Now, Mercury rules Virgo, and it also rules Gemini. And for you, Leo, Virgo is your second house, so that has to do with money. The money you make from the business you own, the money you make from the company you work for, resources and possessions. Has a lot to do with value. And then Gemini for you is your 11th house of gains. It's also on a financial house here. So if I had to take a guess, I think there's going to be things with partnerships and work, and maybe a partner is looking for a new job. There could be a temporary decrease in cash, maybe some unexpected expenses come up because Venus is a minor planet of money. And the Mercury is about travel, communication, what's on your mind. If you've been feeling really anxious lately, that's me. That's Mercury. Just stretching the mind a little bit. It's testing you about mental fortitude here, but it's also about communication and travel. So communication could be off, travel could be a little bit delayed, expect restrictions. And then Pluto, this planet of transformation, death, rebirth, intensity, fear, power, is in the mix with these retrograde planets. Pluto is sitting at 26, 27-ish of Capricorn right now, and both Venus and Mercury conjoined with Pluto at different parts of its retrograde phase. And Pluto just brings things up from the underworld, okay? It's things unseen. It's having to dig deep into something. And there could be some catharsis with this. It could feel like a dark night of the soul, followed by some healing. So that's Pluto energy. It's intensity on a different level. So intensity of the mind, what you're thinking, intensity with relationships, Venus retrograde, and then we got to think about the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius, right? So Capricorn is about restriction, delay, hardship, boundaries, and limits. So when Venus is here, she's testing your limits in relationships. You have to have clearly defined boundaries and limits. And that's exactly what Venus wants. And she wants you to discuss your value, what it is you value. And how does that fit into your boundaries and limits within relationships? But it's in this daily routine, health, work, relationship sector. So you gotta think about it in that term. And what needs tweaking here? What needs review? What needs realignment? Mercury's what's on your mind. It's business savvy. It's communicating. So we're gonna have a hard time just communicating what it is we want. So you gotta be really clear about what it is you want right now. The other thing, and I continue to talk about this because this is a major one for you, Leo, is that Saturn the ruling planet of Aquarius, which is your 7th house, and that's where Saturn's sitting right now, it's dignified there, is making its way through Aquarius, and it's going to be opposing either your ascendant, your sun, perhaps some other personal planets, because the sun travels with Venus and Mercury pretty closely. So the Thema Mundi, which is for astrologers, the Thema Mundi tells us about essential dignities and how the planets operate in certain signs. And when there is always an antithesis to every planet. So for you, Leo, you're ruled by the sun. It's source, right? It's the king. We all know that, you got a little bit of an ego, Leo, and that's okay. You're supposed to. You're fun, you're creative, you're romantic, and you're loyal. The opposite sign is Saturn, and it's Aquarius, right? So Sun, Saturn in astrology are not necessarily friends. So when you seed the sun, which is in your natal chart, if you're a Leo sun or even an ascendant of Leo, now you're going to be dealing with a Saturn opposition, and this can be really difficult. So Sun Saturn oftentimes has to do with fathers, father-like figures, solar-like figures, politicians, fathers, authority figures, people that have rank or authority in society or in your life, bosses, and it's clash. Saturn is also death, decay, and age. So Leos right now are dealing with death in some way, shape, or form in their life. Endings, limits, boundaries. And Saturn's going to be in this sign of Aquarius until March of 2023. We got another year to go. And Saturn's dignified here. So it's really going to test us. It's really going to put us through the ringer if you have planets in Leo with other people. So relationships are really tested right now. The retrogrades are coming to an end. Venus is going to station direct at the end of the week. I'm doing this video on January 25th. She is done with her retrograde phase, I think on the 29th. So we're almost there. But the thing is, she's going to be standing still in the sky for about a week. And then Mars gets into the mix. And Mars is this planet of action, vitality, inertia, cutting and severing. It's the warrior. But in Capricorn, Mars is a strategist. It's still a warrior, but he's a strategist first and foremost. So this is about taking some very directed action. This is about clearing up whatever these retro cycles were about with integrity and precise action. There's no impulsiveness, there's no rashness here with the red planet in Capricorn, where it's exalted. This is where Mars does the best. So if we can take this energy in a way and start moving it forward and taking small steps to resolve whatever it is that these retrograde cycles were about, we're going to see some really nice resolutions. But there's going to be some really tough things. Planets standing still in the sky means intensity. Pluto's in the mix. It just magnifies all of it. The sun, which is your ruling planet, just moved into Aquarius. It's in its fall position. You feel like vitality is down, and it's going to meet up with Saturn in about 2 weeks. And that's going to be a really, it's a reality check of some type with relationships, okay, Leo? So just keep that in mind. All right, so that's the astrology portion of the reading. Just breathe and try and get through these retrogrades. It will be over eventually. We'll start to see the resolution in early March. So we've got about another month. February is about cleaning it up, taking action to clean it up. All right, so we're gonna do your tarot card reading today. I'm gonna do 6 cards from the tarot, 1 from the angels, and then I also have an astrology deck, and I have the 12 signs in there. So we're gonna pull 1 card from there. We're gonna talk about what house that particular sign falls in, why it's important for you. If there's any planets there, we'll talk about that as well. All right, so this is for Leo. The other thing, Leo, is we went through a series of eclipses in Sagittarius, and for you, that's your 5th house of romance, fun, entertainment, children. Solar eclipses in that particular house mean endings, okay? So just keep that in mind. And that energy plays out over the course of about 6 months. And that eclipse in Sag occurred in, I think it was November or early December, is one or the other. Lunar and solar eclipses were happening right around that time. So this is the card that fell out. This is the first one, 6 of Pentacles. We're talking about that 6th house. This is kind of a 6th house card. It's a house of service. It's a house of giving back. It's a house of burden. So you can see there's some imbalance here. We need to rebalance something here and give back to ourselves. Here's the scales. We're going to talk more about that. So that fell out while I was shuffling. That was definitely the universe saying, you need to see this one. So let's pull a card for the sign. What is the sign that Leo needs to know about? Let's see here. I think it's this one. Sagittarius. By the way, Sag pulled this card too, so you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. So represented by the centaur, half human, half horse. The sign Sagittarius is the magnificent archer of the zodiac. It's represented by the archer. It goes the distance. It's about expanding the mind. It's about ideals. It's about beliefs and faith, morality and religion. Sagittarians are skilled at bringing life's major issues into full perspective. Very generous and jovial. They will give the shirt off their back to anyone in need. Because of this, Sagittarians must be careful of overextending themselves and being too quick to make decisions. Ruled by the planet Jupiter, they're ready and willing to have a good time and often forget about their responsibilities. Responsibilities underlined. They also have an uncanny ability to land on their feet in tough circumstances. So that's interesting. That's your 5th house. That's fun. That's romance. If you're taking things a little bit too overboard in the fun department, it's time to hold back. Sagittarius, the first point about the centaur is that Sagittarius is it's half human, half horse. So you have to tame that animalistic side with the human rational side. So you can't just let the animal run free. You can't just let it do what it wants because it can be extremely destructive. It takes things way overboard. And that's when Sag and Leo gets into big trouble. You got to tame the beast. You got to do some rebalancing here. So let's see what the angels have to say. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So if you are, and it could be Sag here too, if you are single, this person is in your vicinity somewhere. Perhaps they're watching you. Maybe they haven't come forward yet. Perhaps you already know who this person is. And you're deciding whether or not this is right for you, right? You're doing some balancing here. You're doing some deciding whether or not this is fulfilling, whether or not this could potentially even be a burden. All right, so let's pull some tarot and get some clarity on this for you, Leo. Started out with the 6 of Pentacles. Might need to do some rebalancing with your values here. Pentacles represent values. Valuing yourself, that 2nd house. Valuing others. How do they fit here, Leo? All right, so this is what's crossing you. 4 of Pentacles. 3 of Cups. The High Priestess. 2 of Cups. And Judgment is the outcome card here. So I might end up pulling another card to clarify this. So you have 2 major arcana here. High Priestess. This is a Pisces related card. And then we also have Judgment. There's some divine work at play here, okay? So we start out with, this could be the one. Are you juggling this? Are you sure this is what you want, Leo? I think you're considering it. You're investigating it. taking a pretty close look at something here. The thing is, the challenge is, are you going to open up your heart? Because the Four of Pentacles is very much about the Miser card. It is the Miser card. Look at him. He's holding this pentacle very close to his heart. He's very guarded. So chances are, Leo, you've been hurt in the past. You might need to do some healing practices here. There might be some past traumas that are holding you back, and it's causing some imbalances here. For some of you, you're masking things. I just got that. And it's related to too much fun, too much celebration. Others of you, you could be dealing with some third parties too. And that's kind of this Venus retrograde with Pluto. So that's for some of you, not for all of you. And when I say third parties, it could be family, it could be work, it could be friends. It's not always a cheating spouse, okay? If it is, you already know about it. If it's not, this is just interference. Others of you, you need to tame the line with the drink. Some of you are drinking way too much. That's for some of you. It's too much celebration, taking it overboard. You're masking things. You're not dealing with the underlying issues. And I think that's why we're seeing some of these more difficult cards come up here right at the front. It could be the one. Are you holding yourself back here, Leo? Are you letting pride maybe kind of take over? Or maybe you just have a lack, your ego's not doing so well and you just don't know where to go and you're kind of spinning. That's for some of you. The thing is, and I kind of want to talk about this because this is complicated stuff. Leo is in a weird position right now. And at the bottom of the reading, at the root of the reading, is the High Priestess. This is the Pisces card. And this is, Pisces is the 8th house for you, Leo. And it's endings, it's transformation, it's letting things go. It's using your intuition to know what needs to go, what needs to be rebalanced in order to get back to a place where you're romantically fulfilled. But there's something going on where you're closed off. Some of you need to go talk to a therapist or get some professional counseling. There's some really deep-seated things here that need to be addressed, because this kind of scares me a little bit. I mean, we're going to clarify, but you need to use some intuition here. And if universe is saying you got to let this go, and if you've been beaten down saying you need to let something go, you really need to do it. Like this is it. Okay. Others of you, you need to start opening up your heart. You need to start opening up your heart. And I think what's going to happen here is we have the Page of Cups on this side, and he is looking at Judgment. So this could be an apology for some of you. Others of you, this is going to be a pretty emotional conversation, and it could be an ending. So let's clarify the Judgment card, please. Okay, it's an ending, but it's also a great new start. So I love this. I love where this is going. I think what's going to happen, Leo, is you're going to start coming back down to reality. You're going to start realizing that if you want long-term stability here, we need to let Judgment is final. That's it, right? There's nothing more we can do. So in order to start anew, in order to feel solid, like you're stable in and of yourself, that's Pentacles energy. Something's got to come to an end. The Ace is the new start. So in order to get to that Ace part, which I love, this is the universe saying, here it is, Leo. Are you going to take it? I'm holding this out for you. Here's your opportunity. It means something's got to end. It's the death and rebirth process. What are your limits? What are your boundaries? What needs to be rebalanced to open up the heart so you can bring in that higher form of love? Some of you are doing way too much partying and you're drinking way too much, okay? That's for some of you. And you need to hear this. You're on a point of no return. And I'm talking to just specific people here. You have to stop, okay? You have to stop. Judgment. This is universal judgment. This is also people. So Leo, it's time. It's time to take it serious. Use your intuition. You're going to know what needs to be rebalanced here. And I'm coming down hard on all the signs because this is the make or break moment with these retrogrades. They're going to be standing still in the sky. The energy is going to get amped up. And that is the time when people are going to want to go. And we got to use that Mars energy in Capricorn, direct, precise, strategic action in order to get what you want. In order to be fulfilled again. In order to get to a place where this is celebration and happiness and not overextending and just going way too far. Because there are pentacles in here, and this is typically a love reading, this is also work for some of you. Some of you are leaving a work situation, or you're getting a new job, okay? So that's also really good. And that actually might help some of you meet this person and move on from a difficult situation. That could be for some of you, okay? Others, this is really difficult relationship stuff. Okay, so breathe. Remember what we need to remember here. Happiness and joy. They have an uncanny ability to land on their feet in tough circumstances. So do you. You're a sun-ruled sign. You have an abundant energy. You have everything already. If you want it, you can have it. But you got to take the steps to do it. It is not going to show up at your door. You got to do the work. And that's what Capricorn's all about. You got to do the work if you want it. I hope you enjoyed the reading, Leo. Leave a comment if this is resonating with you. Until next time, take care.